Everyone, welcome back to the garage for a springtime restoration. It's starting to get a little bit warmer out and it's going to be trimming and pruning season soon, so I figured it'd be a great opportunity to take these old Wisp perfect handle head shears and give them a nice restoration. I found them hanging on a wall in a basement at a local estate sale, and they asked if they could come home with me. So why don't you come on this side and we'll take a closer look at them. So these Wisp perfect handle head shears go back to the 1920s catalogs for Wisp. The rubber shock absorber was new in about 1937, and Wisp produced this model up until about 1950 when they went over to all wooden handles. So it's safe to say that these Wisp perfect handle head shears are a good 85 years old. The wood on the handles is well worn, nice and smooth. The patina is very even, very little rust, maybe just a little bit down in the grooves here. And surprisingly, the blade is still pretty sharp on parts of it. There's a number 8 here, about 8 inches long on the blade. 2 different blades. One is serrated and the other is smooth and flat. So we have a little bit of peening over the screw and on one of the pins here that we could take care of. We're going to polish up the handles real nice, and I think you're going to like how they're going to turn out. Let's do a little bit of a sharpness test first and see how these guys cut. We don't have any hedges outside growing yet, so we're going to have to rely on some paper. Now, looking at the blade and feeling the edge, the blade in closer to the joint is much sharper, and the farther out you get, the duller it is. So we're going to test the edge cutting first, and then we'll test the inside. Not cutting too easily there. There we go. Yep, tips are definitely dull, but the inside still has an edge on it. We'll take care of sharpening that up too. Get this center screw out, and you can see it's been peened over. I'm going to see if we can gently grind away that peening to get that bolt off. Now the cleanup begins. All right, so we're going to grind the end of this pin smooth so we can get the rubber stopper off. Then we'll go down, we'll grind down the end of the peening off of these pins that hold the wood on. Really looks like it's just nails. And this is why you never try and force the pin out through the wood. Sure looks like a nail, but this was not going to come out easy. So glad I took my time and coaxed this little guy out and didn't crack the wooden handles. And we know what we're in for with the rest of them. That's why if you can take the handles off, all that rust under there. Okay, so before the evaporust bath, we got to do a little bit of degreasing on these things. Don't want to put this. I want to put all this gunk into my evaporust. All right, so we got the grease and some of that heavier rust knocked off. And here's a surprise. While cleaning it, the original red paint came through on the handle. So I think we're going to alter our color scheme a little bit just to reflect what color it was originally painted. I like that red. All right, we got a makeshift container here for the two halves of the shears. Get some evaporust in there. All right, well, that's one down. All right, so we're done giving a light sanding to the scales, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts. We got a clean piece of wood here. Do I stain it dark and boil linseed oil and paste wax? Do I do a light stain on it, boiled linseed oil, paste wax? Or do I go natural and just put the boiled linseed oil on it and paste wax? I'll give you a few seconds. Go ahead, leave a comment down below and let me know what you would do. I have an idea, given I already know what I want the shears to look like. Well, what would you do? All right, I got the scales done. And what did you guys pick? Did you go with the dark stain, light stain, or just the natural, the boiled linseed oil? I went with the dark. We did a walnut stain on them, and I'm going to bring you on this side. We'll put some boiled linseed oil on them. That's going to be a great color on these shears. Well, there's one wire wheeled. Now get the other one done, and then we can start working on some details. All right, so we're going to start polishing up a little bit. I'm not going to take the time and file away all the forge marks on here. It's not going to be a highly polished handle, but I just want to smooth out some of the imperfections in it to get it ready for bluing. That'll make it look a little bit better. So I'm going to use the fiber discs on my drill. Just go over it lightly with that and get it ready for the bluing. Then we'll polish up the blades. All right, time to get sanding on the blades, and the rear side of the blade is slightly concave, so we have to be aware of that. Make sure we keep that shape. And the other side, I got to make sure we don't sand away. Where is it at? Sand away that WIS manufacturer's mark right there. So. All right, so we got the handles done with the conditioning pads and the sanding, and they came out looking super. All we got now is to do the bluing and make sure that they do pass the reflection test. All right, gang, well, we're down to the last part. We got to remake these pins that hold the wooden scales onto the handles, and I have an idea. Now, these pins that I pulled out of the handles are all bent and mangled from the manufacturing process, but they are pretty much just nails. So what we're going to do is use those guys, clean those up, cut them down, and make some new pins out of them. I'm not going to bore you with cleaning and polishing nails to make the pins, so I will see you back when these are the new pins. All right, got our pins done, polished up the nails, got them sized, ready to put the scales back on. I have to touch up the bluing a little bit. All right, everyone. Well, that about wraps it up. We got the pins done. We got the grips back on and the whole thing reassembled. So why don't we take a look at what this thing used to look like and how it looks now. I got to tell you, this is one of the proudest restorations that I've done. So let's take a look at what this thing used to look like. So I can't tell you guys just how pleased I am with how these came out. If you saw how they used to look and the way they came out now, the new walnut stain on the grips with the new pins, the paint on the insets with the white letters. We had a little bit of a blue embellishment there. You have the red, white, and blue American colors. We polished, nice high polish on the blades. We did a dark steel bluing on the rest of the frame. The reverse side looks just as awesome. And I tell you what, I am so happy with the way these look. And thanks for sticking around. We got one last thing to do. We got that cut test. So come on inside and let's cut some paper. All right, so we ain't going outside for a cut test. We just had some thunderstorms go through. So we're going to be back to this piece of paper and we'll test the sharpness. Oh, yeah. Cut nice. All right, everyone, just want to say thanks for hanging out with me in the garage as we restored this absolutely beautiful pair of 1930s, 1940s Swiss garden shears. They came out absolutely fantastic. I'm so happy with the color, with the bluing, the way the blades look, the new handle colors. So one of my proudest ones. I hope you enjoyed it too. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up. And if you want to catch some future episodes out of the garage this year, be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.